Hey, guess what? We got we got a new thing. We also, I saw this. There's a new Secretary of State being nominated. Breaking, NBC reports Rex Tillerson, president and CEO of Exxon Mobil, will be Trump's Secretary of State. That's what they're floating. People are freaking out about it. Here was my take. Here's my hot take. I say they cut out the middleman on some level. Kind of refreshing that they're not pretending what our foreign policy is actually about. Now we don't have to guess. This is about oil. By the way, just so you know, why are we in Syria? I watched a whole nother news report about Syria today. They never mention why we're in Syria. Why are we in Syria? Because Saudi Arabia wants to put a pipeline through Syria. That's why we're in Syria. And Syria doesn't want it. And neither does Russia. That's why Russia backs Assad. And we want to overthrow Assad. Remember we had that big debate in Congress about whether we should go to war to overthrow a sovereign government? Me neither, because we never had it. And the last time Barack Obama publicly said he wanted to bomb Syria and he asked Congress, Congress said no. So guess what? They just stopped asking. And now they just do it. They just bomb without asking. So now maybe that we have this guy as our Secretary of State, people will start asking why the fuck we're bombing everywhere. We're bombing everywhere. Barack Obama just started bombing in Somalia. We're bombing in Yemen. Why are we bombing in Yemen? Why are we bombing in Somalia, the poorest countries on the face of the earth? We got to bomb them? We got to kill some people there? Yeah. Syria is a hellhole. And we're arming our enemies in Syria. So, and this is all about fossil fuel. This is all about fossil fuel. So now, people are going crazy that he's doing this. People are going crazy. I'm like, this is great. Just like Malcolm X said about Goldwater. He can't hide it. He can't hide his disdain for black people. It's better to have him in there instead of a sheep in wolf's clothing. Donnie Tynahands isn't hiding what he's about. They're not hiding what their foreign policy is about. We put the CEO of Exxon as our Secretary of frickin' State. I swear to God, that's just, on some level, it's genius beyond belief. On some level.
Is he going to clock out?
And let me just say, yeah, right? And let me just say to Donnie Tynahands, thanks for doing that. Why do you want to have someone who isn't the CEO of an oil company but just takes the money from the CEO of the oil company and does their bidding secretly, or do you want someone who's right out in the open? So this again, Donnie Tynahands is doing this stuff. It's so good that we're going to be able to oppose all this stuff.
I don't think that it was Tiny Hands that appointed him.
Well, he's the one floating him. Why? Who do you think?
I thought Putin. Putin did it, isn't he? He's in bed. He's super in bed with Putin. He's been doing business with Putin for a million fucking years.
Actually, we have I'm going to play a videotape of that in just a second.
It's so interesting that you should bring this up because Senator John McCain, according to the New York Times, said that Mr. Tillerson's connections to Mr. Putin are a matter of concern to me.
Yes.
And promised to examine them closely were he to be nominated. And McCain went on to say, in the past, Vladimir Putin is a thug, bully, and a murderer. And anybody else who describes him as anything else is lying.
What I like about this, though, is that it finally, we can see Exxon for what it is, which is it's a country in and of itself. Exxon needs its own foreign policy. The Exxon sales make them a bigger economy than probably 3/4 of the countries on Earth.
Right.
So they need their own foreign policy. It's just nice that it's a merger, is what it is. It's just a nice merger between Exxon and the quote unquote United States of America. We're just merging. It's a corporate merger.
I saw people tweeting that this is just proof that America is an oil company with an army.
Correct. Yes, that's brilliant. That's exactly what it is.
So Reuters reports this. Reuters says Exxon CEO as Trump's Secretary of State puts senators in a tough position. Really?
Yeah, doing their job, which is something they don't want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the front runner for Secretary of State is President-elect Donald Trump's administration. Exxon Mobil chief Rex Tillerson faces a struggle getting confirmed by U.S. senators concerned about his close ties to Russia. I'm gonna guess he gets confirmed, no problem. What do you think?
I don't think it'll be that. Well, he's been confirmed. He was confirmed by the Politburo, so they approved it. And now this is the last hoop he's got to jump through. Don't know.
Republicans and Democrats said Tillerson, who was also president of Exxon Mobil Corp., would be asked about his ties to Russia, having met President Vladimir Putin several times and won fresh praise from Moscow on Monday.
He also won like their Patriots.
He
you know
did.
what I mean? Like it's not the Man of the Year, but
He
it's
won
like
he got an award.
Right. The We Love You and the level of deals that they've done together. The Russian oil company and Exxon. It's bazillions of dollars.
Yes.
Yes.
Exxon and Russia. 2013, Putin bestowed a Russian state honor.
That's what it is.
The Order of Friendship. That's what it's called.
The Order. I demand you be friendship. That's amazing. The Order of Friendship.
They cited his work strengthening cooperation in the energy sector. So there you go. Then here you go, Senator John McCain. He said all that stuff that you just said.
Right.
And then he said Putin is bent on restoring the Russian Empire. Another Republican senator, Marco Rubio, who serves on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee that would review a Tillerson nomination, has voiced similar worries. Now, what does this mean for these politicians? So now John McCain just won his reelection. That's why he's able to do this. So did Marco Rubio. That's why he's able to do this.
That's right.
So they got 6 years ahead of them, and John McCain will be dead before the end of that 6 years. So he doesn't give a shit anymore. So that's why he can say this stuff. And Marco Rubio hates Trump.
And he wants a boat. He wants another boat.
And he just won re-election to the Senate. So he's got 6 years ahead of him. So he'll be in the Senate long after Trump's gone. So that's why they're saying this. That's why they're upset. But this goes into my theory that other senators who are going to be up for election, you can stick them with this stuff, right? So they're going to have to vote for him in the Senate. They're going to have to confirm. So we got to stick all this shit onto the Republicans. If the Democrats are smart, they'll be able to do that. The Democrats are not smart, and they're bought by the same people. And that's the problem. They're going to oppose this guy after all of them take money from the goddamn company? What are you going to do, right? They all take money from the fossil fuel industry. They all take money from Wall Street.
This might be the one, though, because that one or two of these cabinet nominees are going to be sacrificial lambs. You have to give the Senate something. So
something to say no to?
Yeah, something. So they're going to say no. Maybe this guy, maybe another guy. But meanwhile, all the others go through, right? Because you can't stop every whack job that they're putting forth.
So we get the Goldman Sachs guy.
Goldman Sachs guy, he's good.
Yeah.
But maybe the Exxon guy doesn't get.
Here he is meeting with Putin. So they're all having champagne because they signed some deal, and they just talk. There's nothing really being said. They're just. It's good. Here you can hear it.
All sides, both on Russian side and their side, will honor their commitments to the full extent.
We would honor our commitments to the fullest. It's all bullshit. Everybody's going to get rich now because sucking oil out of the ground. That's what he's going to get rich. He's already rich, getting richer. He's going to get. They're all rich, and they're just going to get richer now doing this. Like, what is the motivation for this guy? He's already got more money than he knows what to do with, right? So there you go. So that's it.
Yeah, I don't. That's what dumbfounds me.
What is it's just power and whatever. It's just power. Right?
They've been
they're all
chasing
just jagoffs. There's nothing special about any of these people. They're just regular jagoffs who have craved power.
They just that's where I lose it with the one percenters, which is how much do you need?
Well, that's that thing from Wall Street, that movie from 30 years ago. But when he says to Gordon Gekko, how many yachts can you ski behind at once?
Yes.
One.
Right.
How many do you need?
Right. But there's some kind of, sickness. It's this capitalist greed
definitely.
Sickness.
You think? Yes. Yes. More.
It's a mental illness.
Yes. Yes, it is.
It really is.
Miserable.
I'm just only thinking that a part of this, the sweetness about this is that Giuliani won't have a place right now. I like that he has to kind of slouch away. And then Mitt Romney posts on Facebook his announcement, that he was grateful for this opportunity. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, it's nice that Trump is making all his detractors come back and kiss his ring.
Yeah.
And that's what mafia guys do. That's what strongmen do all over the world.
Yeah.
And he's making them come to Trump Tower to kiss his ring. And then when they exit the elevator, they have to face the cameras. And you can see Carly Fiorina and Mitt Romney. So
And Mitt
Even
Romney
Al Gore.
said,
Even
Al Gore.
Talk about salt in a wound. Like what was Al Gore thinking? Like,
know-
here's
He's
an
getting
opportunity
played. Al
to
Gore getting
affect
played.
policy.
That's what that's about.
I mean, what are you doing?
And Mitt Romney says on Facebook, he says, it was an honor to have been considered for Secretary of State of our great country. My discussions with the President-elect Trump have been both enjoyable and enlightening.
Yeah, right. We played that clip of him saying
it's
that.
just gross.
He likes to be slapped.
Yeah.
He does.
likes to
He
be
likes
slapped.
to be slapped.
So I think I'm actually, this might sound crazy to a lot of people because people have already been mad at me for that joke I made on Twitter. Like, that's disgusting. It's not really even a joke. I actually am kind of happy that they did this. If he becomes a Secretary of State, do you know how suspect everything he does will automatically be? Which is, it automatically should be, but it isn't anymore because we have a shitty press, corporate-owned press, and then it gets even worse because half of the press is in bed with power anyway, and does their bidding and lying and propaganda. We saw it. We see the people on the left doing their right now. MSNBC is almost a nonstop Democratic propaganda machine.
And MSNBC's, have you heard their new motto, MSNBC?
Lean forward till you hit your fucking head.
No, they got a new one. It's even better. You're going to love this. Their new MSNBC's new motto is, we'll figure it out together. Like, no, don't figure shit out.
No, you ain't
Just
figuring.
Tell me what happened.
No,
That's all
you're
I
not
need from
figuring
you.
it out. You guys aren't figuring shit out.
Figure it out.
They're gonna
together.
that's their new thing. Yeah, we're all gonna figure it out. You know, me, Micah, and Joe Scarborough. We're all gonna figure it out. Do you say Micah or Mika? I say Micah. Hey, we're doing another live Jimmy Dore show the day after Christmas, December 26th. We're doing a live Jimmy Dore show in Burbank, California. Come see it. There's a link for tickets right there.